So without further ado, let's get right into this episode. So in this podcast episode, I want to talk to you guys about the power of manifestation. If you doubt it, it's definitely real. And I just kind of want to share a little story about this one time where I manifested my new car. So I was like pushing my hoopty, which is ironic because I'm pushing that hoopty now. I'll tell you guys a little bit about that. But I wanted a new car. I was like, I'm tired of pushing this hoopty. Like, it was breaking down on me in the middle of the road. There's been times I was like at the light and it just broke down, and then the hazards weren't working. And so it was like people were just sitting behind me blowing, which was really stupid when you think about it. Cause like, obviously, this person's not moving and they're not just sitting here for, no reason, but whatever. So I was like, I am about to get a new car. And I believe the way that I manifested it was like, I knew that I wanted a new car. And I'm not even really sure if honestly I did the most with like the specifics and just like all of those things. Cause let me just tell you, like, I think God is so real. So I think that's where God stepped in. Like, I'm gonna give you a 2015, right? This was like in 2017. So the car was very new. And I was just like, okay, I had my mind set up, you guys. I was like, I want a new car. And so then I just started working towards my credit. Like, I paid my credit off. And I had my credit score at like a 720. And so I ended up getting this 2015. It was like $196 a month. And I had a very low interest. And so I shared those specifics with you guys to just say, like, yes, manifestation is totally real, but I believe that it was able to come to me because I think it was like, I was so determined. Like I just knew that I was getting a new car, right? I was like, I am just not taking anything less. I am not going to settle for anything less. And I had my mind set up like, this is what I want. And I'm just not going to take anything less. And so, I believe that's how that was able to come to me. And of course, through like prayer and everything. But it was such a powerful experience because when I think about it, I did not go to 50 different car lots. I went to like one car lot. I looked at two cars and then they were like, yeah, this is 2015. And it was very cheap. It had like low miles. It wasn't like brand spanking new, but it had like low miles. I think it was probably like a rental car or something like that. And so, yeah, you guys, that's how I had manifested like my first car. But at that time, I didn't even really understand like manifestation or anything like that. It was just one of those things where I was seriously determined. And I thought about like, everything that I could do to make sure that this comes into my life and that this comes to pass. And so I literally just was working on my credit. I'm like, okay, well, I know if I'm going to do this, like I don't want the car to be super expensive. I just want it to be something that I can afford. Cause I know some cars, like I know people are like getting like 2015s and up or like 2016s and it's 2020. So people are probably getting more like 2018s or like 19s. But I knew some people who had new cars, but they were paying like $300, $400, $500 a month. And I was like, absolutely not. So I was like, no, I definitely want something that's like super cheap. So yeah, my car note was like $196 for this 2015. And, it was nothing more than just determination and prayer and, I guess the work ethic. And I think really, really, really like truly when you have your mindset on something, that is just what it's going to be. But mind you guys, I did not stress about it. I wasn't, why I wasn't worried? Because I knew that I was getting that new car. Like for me, it was a non-negotiable. Like, and I think about everything in my life and, it really just like getting back on track because, just kind of like, I was in some tough seasons, y'all. So right now I'm back better than ever and I'm so much stronger, so much wiser. So it's amazing. But, back even now, like being back on track, I'm like, once I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Point blank, period. And so I just say, I think in regards to manifestation, it's a belief. Like, I think the belief needs to be so strong, right? The belief needs to be so strong. And, I even think about times where I manifested other things in my life. I did that just by journaling and I wrote down specifics in the journal and then I pretty much just let it go. And actually I forgot about it. And so when it came to me, I was just like, oh my God, like it was just really, really cool. But, I definitely think that you should pray for wisdom, or, kind of be in expectation more so that whatever it is that you're asking for, you can prepare for it. So let's say if you want to manifest like real estate properties, maybe you want to start taking some courses, or maybe you want to sign up for the master classes, go to your free library, read some books, ask some people that you know who are also like brokers and agents to get information in regards to that. I don't know, watch HGTV, you know what I mean? So it's like, when you ask for something, I think that the work then becomes on you to put in that work to make sure that you can sustain whatever it is that you're manifesting, because we all know that a blessing too soon is actually not a blessing, but rather a burden. And you don't want to sabotage your manifestations, because they're totally coming. They're totally coming. So it's like, whenever I feel frantic, or I'm in this state and I'm just like being OD and I'm worrying and I'm like super anxious, I think about those times. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I no longer have the 2015 now. It's so crazy how it worked out. I had plans on doing something else that really I wasn't sure what to do with my car. I'm not going to go into details about that. And so last year I ended up getting in a car accident, and this lady actually totaled my car. I am alive, thank God, and I'm like healthy. And so I ended up getting out of my lease entirely. And so yeah, I ended up getting out of my lease until I think I had like gap insurance, so I didn't have to pay anything for the car. And it was such a joy to have my baby. Her name was Minnie, and we had some good times together. So I was out of that lease, and I believe that was literally just because I was like not sure what to do with this car, and God is so freaking good. So it kind of worked out. So now I'm back in my hoopty after college. I'm happy she still runs. Her name is Red. She looks like a Hot Wheel. I had her on my story. She's mad loud, and she's great, because now she's not bringing down on me. So it's fabulous, honey. I'm thankful, but I want a new car, and I'm going to get a new car. But I just say that to say it's real. And you just got to believe it. I know they talk about like feeling it and like all of these things. Honey, believe it, throw a little prayer on it, and get to work. That's all you guys worry about, period. Like, don't stress yourself out about these manifestations, because if you really believe it to be true for yourself, it's totally true for you, and it's going to come. Just put that work in. Like, and I think for me, I don't know what it was, but when people would be like, put the work in, I would just get so overwhelmed about certain things. This is why I just really started just moving in my own lane and like doing my own thing, and like really just not seeking that much counsel unless it was from like an expert in that area, or somebody who was like really doing what it is that I wanted to do. Just because people, their advice, sometimes it's just not sound. Everybody's just like, you need to just put the work in. I'm like, I worked so freaking hard. So I would just get so overwhelmed and so frustrated, like, oh my God, like what else do I need to do? So now I realized that work does not always necessarily have to be like hard labor on a job, you guys. Sometimes work is just reading a book. Sometimes work is just taking a class. Sometimes work is just, I don't know, whatever. If you have like fitness goals, sometimes it's just going to the gym. Like it's work, but I think we just automatically, when we hear the word work, we just think of like manual labor and like hard labor, and to you, right, like me, like taking certain courses, me reading certain books, me listening to certain things, like that may be work for you because that's not something that you're interested in, right? You like, I have no interest to sit in this class. I have no interest to do the things that I'm doing, so that's going to look like work for you because you're not interested in it. But I think when you're really passionate about something and you really want something, that work then becomes, you can just make it a lot more enjoyable versus just like manual labor where it's like, oh, I'm working on a job. And it's like, now I'm not saying that, you can't have that same mentality at work. If you have like financial goals or whatever, when you're at work, it's like, okay, if I focus on this, I know that this is what's going to lead me to that. But everybody knows that I do not like working, so I don't even really want to go down that route. We're going to keep this on a high note. Manifestation is real. Believe it, see it, and work towards it. That's all I have to say. And I hope everybody has a fabulous day. I'm going to leave you with your thoughts.